And again, if you want to join us with advertising or marketing solutions here in Southern Indiana or beyond into Kentucky, you can reach out to me or Jason at extolmag.com. So I appreciate everyone's support. Again, most of today dry here with your weather headlines. Some evening rain showers back in the picture, and then showers and thunderstorms, multiple rounds likely for our Wednesday, and spotty light rain for Thursday. Again, that play ball forecast, 82, upper 70s, low 80s, depending on the amount of cloud cover you have. I think we'll get some peaks of sunshine, though. And how many days until? We've got average highs in the 60s, 26 days, Halloween in 38. Average first flurries about 53 days away, and Thanksgiving 65. So the fall things countdown continues. Here are the stupid weather jokes. What do you get if you come in fourth at the National Weather Awards? A precipitation trophy. Get it? Participation trophy? Yeah. How does one raindrop ask another out? What are you doing tonight? What do you call a family vehicle driving through a severe storm? Van Halen. Kind of like that one. I'm going to give this 6 out of 10 on the joke meter score. And again, we're trying to write some ourselves. We're scraping the internet. If you've got any stupid weather jokes, you want to participate, feel free to drop them in the comments or email me. We've got Lily and Lasley in the comments. Sun shining at the house. Yeah, there is more sun in Kentucky right now than Indiana. And we'll get right back to that radar satellite here in just a second. And Judy Tyndall, good morning from Cloverport. Sun shining and no rain. Yeah, the majority of today for this Tuesday, dry. And then this evening, we got some more rain moving in and a pretty unsettled day for tomorrow. All right, back to it here as we're getting toward the forecast. Today's weather history. And it goes way back, 1555. Grand Harbor, located in Velita, Malta, was hit by a tornado which moved inland and caused extensive damage. A shipping armada in the harbor was about to go out to battle, was destroyed by the tornado, killing at least 600 people. Some sources say that happened in 1551 or 1556. Either way, a long time ago. 1722, a hurricane struck the small village of New Orleans. Back then, a small village. Having just been founded 4 years earlier, the hurricane-force winds lasted 15 hours and storm surge drove ships well inland. A hospital and church were destroyed. New Orleans has had a history with horrible hurricanes. 1815, the poem The September Gale, penned by Oliver Wendell Holmes. We're getting enlightened and cultured here today, guys. Was written about a hurricane that struck New England on this date. Holmes was just 6 years old at the time. 1983, Super Typhoon Forest underwent extreme rapid intensification at its central pressure crashed 92 millibars in just under 24 hours. And we've got a good morning from Mary Dale, overcast in New Albany. And Mary, you got that right as we look live here at the overcast conditions here, live in downtown, uptown New Albany. But again, I think we'll see some sunshine today. Definitely not as much rain as we saw yesterday. All right, looking here at the forecast today, 82 degrees, dry most of today, and then some evening rain, southwest wind around 5 to 10, sunset 7:37, and tonight, showers and thunderstorms. I think that rain will become heavier at times overnight into tomorrow morning. We'll look at that on the future weather model maps, which looks pretty widespread for tomorrow morning. We'll look at the high-res models here in just a second. We got a good morning from Perry Porter. Cheers to you from me and Big Happy. Thank you for watching, sir. All right, moving right along to the forecast. South winds 5 to 10, sunrise 7:32 tomorrow morning. So here's your forecast for tomorrow. Tomorrow, multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms, perhaps not a total washout. We might get a little break between disturbances around midday tomorrow, but morning looks pretty wet, especially early. And then later in the day, we could develop more showers and thunderstorms. Have to watch out for maybe some localized flooding. Could see around 1 to 3 inches of rainfall tomorrow. Average high is 79, average low 59, sunrise 7:32, sunset at 7:36. And the 7-day forecast gets better. On the very backside of this system, we'll have some clouds and some lingering spotty light rain showers Thursday. And then upper 70s, looks like some good Friday night football weather here for us for Friday. And then seasonably warm, pretty normal temperatures, upper 70s, low 80s in the afternoon, Saturday and Sunday, and lows back down cooler in the upper 50s and lower 60s. So it looks dry this weekend. I've just put the word isolated Monday, Tuesday. Some data suggests we could have a little fetch off the Atlantic that might give us a sprinkle or two, maybe early next week. But for now, keeping that mostly dry, but not a bad, again, 7-day forecast there overall. All right, bringing back to the program here. We're going to start to look at we're going to look at everything. We're going to cover it all. We're not going to leave anything out on the program here today. We've got a good morning here from Bedford. Dry patch for now, anyway. Speaking of that dry patch, way to lead me on here, Dennis. Here we go. So there's our dry patch. So actually, Lillian was talking about some sunshine. There you can see that over central Kentucky. We still got this layer of what was very low clouds and fog over southern Indiana that's going to start to dissipate. Again, I think we'll see some more sunshine. Then we've got some space between us and the next unsettled weather that'll arrive later on tonight and into tomorrow. So it looks like the majority of the daytime today is going to be dry. And we've had just a couple of teeny tiny little showers here over the last hour and a half. You can see those have fizzled out. So again, we're back to dry conditions for a little while here, but it is rather unsettled. You can see that big stretch of wet weather through Missouri and Kansas and Nebraska, northeastern Colorado into Wyoming. So I think we're going to get if we, do a simple timeline, we're going to get this for our Wednesday. I'll just put W on that. And then spotty light rain stuff for our Thursday on the very backside of this kind of convoluted system that we have out there. So the W is our Wednesday heavy rain, and then the T is our Thursday, some lighter rain on the way. So let's get to it. Let's look at the weather models. I'm going to bring up it's 10:18, usually around 10:20. We're diving into the weather models. So we're pretty much right on time here. I'm going to bring up the future radar, and we are going to start with the NAM 3 kilometer. Let me back up our view here a little bit. So we're going to take this to noon today. You can see the rain is still out to our west here at lunchtime, going into 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. So school getting out, about to wrap up work. There you can see that heavy rain has shifted east to the Mississippi River. So getting a little bit closer, but still out to our west. And the model's trying to give perhaps a very isolated little shower developing this afternoon, especially over central Kentucky. I doubt many of us are going to see that. So again, mostly dry through the afternoon. So there's that wave. The next wave of wet weather out west here is 7 p.m. On the leading edge of that wet weather, we might start to get some sprinkles as we get towards sunset. This is at 7 p.m. today. But there you can see that blob of rain getting closer, now moving towards the Wabash River, the Illinois and Indiana state lines. We head towards sunset. And then as we get a little bit later into the nighttime, here is 10 p.m. Starting to see a steadier rain likely develop over the area. Go to midnight here if you're following along here hour by hour, loading up the data. So I'm starting to see some heavier pockets developing likely overnight. I'll stop it here at around 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And we might be getting some rumbles of thunder as we start to get to the core of the system moving over us. Low-level jet, so pumping in some energy. And so this is around 3-4 o'clock. Let me see what we have at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. It definitely looks like a pretty – look at that. Look at your Wednesday morning. This is around 5 a.m. So let me take a look at another product here. This is the most unstable CAPE, the convective available potential energy. And there's more of it southwest. But there's enough here for some rumbles of thunder, but I don't think severe weather for us. And if we line this up with the Storm Prediction Center's day one severe weather risk, which takes us into late tonight, there you can see that risk of severe weather is greater where we've got more energy. Makes sense down in Arkansas. Now, our day two risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center, they are a division of the National Weather Service out of Norman, Oklahoma, and you can see that we are just under level 1 out of 5 in the severe weather risk categories. It's called marginal risk for our area. So it is low level risk of severe weather. Okay. Back to the weather models. Here we go. And the other one little thing that I was wanting to look at as well is the 850 millibar winds. This is about 5,000 feet up. And then I was going to take this into where we just left off at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So right now we're looking at the NAM 3-kilometer high resolution weather model. Then we're going to look and compare and contrast with the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. But what this shows us is some strong winds at about 5,000 feet. So that is a good low level jet over the region. So what this does, it transports a lot of moisture and more unstable air up our direction. So this is a low-level jet around, again, 5,000 feet. On the nose of a low-level jet, you will get mass convergence and uplift, and that will help produce a bunch of heavy rain. Some of this heavy rain could be going over the same areas. We call that training, and that could lead to some localized flooding. That's why we are in a slight risk for excessive rainfall from the Weather Prediction Center. So with all that said, we've got ingredients for a heavy rain event tonight into tomorrow morning. Let's bring back up the reflectivity here for you. So this is at 5 o'clock. We'll go into 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So a lot of us going to be hitting the road here out the door, and there you can see widespread rain throughout the region. So just a little pause here for you to take a look at your 8 o'clock tomorrow morning with the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. Some pretty healthy downpours. Grab the rain gear, grab the galoshes, whatever you need, the umbrella. Looking like a soggy Wednesday for us, a gully washer, as some might say. So let's go into late tomorrow morning. After kind of a washout start as we go towards noon tomorrow, southern Indiana might get a little bit of a break midday. Heavy rain starting to slide off to the east towards Lexington with that first initial batch. Now, later in the day, we might start to recharge and have another disturbance heading our direction. So going to keep a rain chance in there for tomorrow afternoon. This is around 3 p.m. on our Wednesday. September the 24th is what we're looking at right here. If you're just joining us, we're looking at the weather models here hour by hour. So this is at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Here's a look at 5 o'clock. So just some more scattered showers and thunderstorms through the region. This is at 7 o'clock tomorrow. If I take this all the way into Thursday, actually, I want to bring up the NAM. It still shows some spotty light rain showers Thursday. So the heavy stuff tomorrow, and then lighter Thursday, and then dry for Friday. All right, that is the NAM 3-kilometer and the NAM. Now we're going to look at the high-resolution rapid refresh weather model, the HRRR. This is time now, basically. It's got a couple of showers moving off to the east of us. It has the heavy rain out west in Missouri and Nebraska, in Kansas, where we've seen it with the real data, the radar data. So it's matching up nicely. The initialization looks good with the HRRR. So as we take this into the afternoon today, 3, 4 o'clock, you can see that blob of wet weather still out to the west of us. Heading to the Mississippi River this afternoon, it's got our area dry for this afternoon. Going into, say, 6, 7 o'clock, it has most of that rain over Illinois, western Kentucky. It is maybe just a little bit slower than the NAM 3-kilometer. Here is 9 p.m. with that heavy rain just out to our west. We'll go to 11 o'clock, and there you can see that heavy rain now moving into our area. So when a lot of us are starting to go to bed, that's probably when we might start to see some flashes of lightning, some rumbles of thunder, might wake up again overnight to some of those rumbles of thunder during the overnight. This is at midnight. Both of the weather models showing the potential for some heavy downpours and some thunderstorms through the late night hours and into tomorrow morning. This has been a mouthful here with the weather models. Good. I'm, as a meteorologist, happy to have something to talk about here, but let me take a little break here. Cheers to you guys on a Tuesday morning, September 23rd. All right, looking ahead let's go with I got to go to the 48-hour version of the HRRR. So let's look at around 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. It has wet weather over us. And then by late morning, just like the NAM, it has the heavy rain starting to move off to the east, but still some just kind of leftover scattered stuff here and there around at noon. Noon, we might get that break. So late morning, early afternoon, might get a little bit of a break here. And what is a wet Wednesday? Now I'm going into the afternoon tomorrow here with the HRRR, and there you can see, just like the NAM, it has some stuff kind of popping back up. So kind of a multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms likely for our Wednesday. This is at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Still some rain across the area. And this one has it kind of blowing up again tomorrow evening. So there we go. An active day tomorrow with our weather. Let me see if I can also bring up I thought the 850 millibar winds were pretty interesting. I'm going to go to tomorrow morning with this because I think that's when the core of the jet is over the region. So yeah, this is a low level jet. This is a healthy supply at 5,000 feet, transporting up rich, moist air to the region on the nose of the low level jet on that top side there. That's where we get, again, mass convergence, pooling of moisture, uplift, ingredients for widespread showers and thunderstorms. So there we go. And Vicky with I couldn't get you only when you were walking into work. Glad to get you now. Glad you're popping in. You're not going to miss anything. Vicky we'll do the recap as we always do of the forecast. We're digging into the weather models right now, though. Okay, so that is our active Wednesday. We've got the ingredients for showers and thunderstorms across the area, low level threat of severe weather. And does the kitty want out? I think do you hear Ginger? 1 second. I'm going to let the kitty out. Oh, there we go. There's Angie Fenton. All right, here we go. So we are now going to be starting to look ahead a little bit farther into the future. Also want to look at the total amount of rainfall. So the rainfall accumulation here, guys. And so the total precipitation through the next couple of days. And there is a big swath. So this is all just the total amount of rainfall across the region. Again, kind of a drought buster for much of the regions, which has been a blessing. We've been needing this rainfall. So don't necessarily look at the numbers and think, I'm going to get that exact number. As we know with thunderstorms, there's going to be varying amounts. And Vicki with the live report of some fog still up there in the Salem, Indiana area. Definitely a foggy start over parts of Indiana this morning. But this is a look at, some hefty amounts for tomorrow. The white colors are the heavier amounts. The greens are lower amounts. So I'm just plotting these out randomly. So it's showing around 1 to 3 inches of rainfall total for tomorrow and tomorrow night.